Good evening, everybody. This is Rabbi Karen, and we welcome you to our Tuesday Ma'ariv service. I'm so happy that you could join us. This is Rabbi Karen here. I'm so glad that you are here with me this evening, and we're going to daven together. I'm just doing something technical for the moment, okay? And we're going to begin our Tuesday Ma'ariv service. So let's get ready to share the screen. We are on Facebook. We are on JSLI, UJUC, Sim Shalom, and Rabbi Stephen Blaine page. Albert, Shabbat Shalom. Albert is in our chat. We are on UJUC. We are on simshalom.com. And we are also on YouTube. So welcome, everybody. Let's go to our slideshow as we begin our Tuesday Ma'ariv service. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. I'm just typing for a moment. Okay. How good it is and how pleasant when we dwell together in unity. And now our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due now and forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. And as we look out on our sky in Florida, it would be sunny, but we've had a rainy day. We think of Adonai's blessing of dividing light from dark and dark from light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bevaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitbuna mishanei tim umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et kochavim b'mishmorotayim barakia kirtzono. With wisdom you open gateways, with understanding you alter times, vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshek v'choshek mipnei or, umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom umevi layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Li'olam V'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who brings on twilight. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now the prayer that doesn't ask, because most prayers, we ask. This one states our love for Adonai. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom, now and forever. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and with all your might. And all these days which I command you on this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you rise up, and when you lie down. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy, holy unto your God. Okay, let's just say a quick hello. Oh, Marvin, you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see, on our Zoom, we have Rabbi Elias, Al, Dana, Daniela, Ellen, Joanne, Marvin, Reba, Rudolph, Sue, and Toby. That's great. And let's take a look who's in our restream. We have Albert, Phyllis Ann, and Elias. Okay, Elias, is that the same you in two places at once? Okay. My friend, that Phyllis Ann, I've known her since I'm 15 years old. Yes, my good friend is a good close friend. All right, everybody, welcome. I'm glad you're with us today. Rabbi Elias is my co-pilot. And as we get ready to continue our service this evening. And speaking of miracles, Adonai separated the Red Sea. As the women went through this miracle, they sang, Mi chamocha ba'lim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u beinecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, u'Miriam, ze Eli anu, ve'amru, Adonai yimloch, li'olam va'ed. This is our God, they cried, Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Chashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'achamidenu malkeinu l'chayim, ufrosh aleinu sukat shalom necha. Adonai, bless us in these troubled times, watch over us, take care of us, guide us, remove us from hostility, disease, war, famine, sorrow, shelter in the shadow of your wings. Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Yitgada v'yitgada shemei rabah, b'yamad divrah hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'yimeru amen. Yesh me rabba mevorach, li'olam li'amei amaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yipar, v'yiraman, v'yinaseh, v'yitardar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei d'kudisha, v'riachu, leila mikol bechata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata dami rabbi alma, v'yimeru amen. Doing a shortened version tonight. So at this time, we have a holiday coming up. Shavuot is happening this week. Shavuot has many names. It was considered the festival of the harvest. It is considered the festival of the first fruit. And it is the festival of weeks, W-E-E-K-S, because it is how many weeks since Pesach?
7.
7 weeks. And Shavuot is 7. So this is 7 weeks, 49 days since the second day of the Exodus. Shavuot is the spring festival. It's the bringing of the wave of loaves of bread from the new harvest wheat. It is the Bikurim, the celebration of the first fruits. It was celebrated after the first temple was built. So we really didn't celebrate that until they had a place, a location to bring the first fruits and the first wheat and the loaves of bread that came from that wheat. And then they added in a new theme, receiving of the Torah. No bringing to the temple any fruits or wheat after the destruction of the temple. So that ended. It was not a pilgrimage festival. Later on, the rabbis linked it to the receiving of Torah at Sinai. It was first written in 1st century before the Common Era. It was post-biblical. It's mentioned in the book of Jubilee, which is parallel to the book of Genesis and parallel to part of the book of Exodus. Later on, the Torah was celebrated on this day in Eastern Europe as a practice for 3 to 5-year-old males to begin studying. In many Reform synagogues today, on Shavuot, it is the time for the confirmation. So, what do we know about the giving of the Torah? It is occurring 7 weeks after the Exodus. What do we eat? Anybody know, what do we eat?
Mostly dairy products.
Mostly dairy. And how do we prepare for the night before Shavuot?
Well, Shavuot, we usually stay up all night studying. Well, that's part of the procedure.
Yeah.
I can actually say I stayed up till 6 in the morning once. I think I fell asleep a few times at the table. The rabbi had out coffee, we had bagels, and we had a whole schmear. And I think a few times I closed my eyes and I passed out for a little while. But by 6 a.m., I couldn't make it to services. I went home and went to sleep. And what story do we read traditionally?
The book of Ruth.
The book of Ruth. Why?
She's the righteous convert.
You want to tell us a little bit something about her?
Somebody want to help me?
Somebody? Who was Ruth?
She,
Why is she recognized as a convert? Did we have conversion?
Well, she's a Moabite,
Mhm.
and she followed God, Hashem. She followed the teachings of Hashem, and she wanted to be Jewish. I don't know much else.
she followed her mother-in-law because she was married to Naomi's son.
Naomi, yeah.
Husband,
She was married to his son and he died, and she stayed with Ruth. I mean, she stayed with Naomi. She followed her. Your God is my God. So she followed and stayed with her. So she was considered the first convert, and actually began the lineage for David. If you follow the lineage, converts are not considered any different than a Jew who's born Jewish. There is no separation, no Jewish. That's it. Okay, so we have a couple of traditions here. So how is Simchat Torah? I'm sorry, Simchat Torah. How is Shavuot celebrated today? We don't wave loaves of bread.
Well, we do the Tikkun Leil.
Go ahead, keep talking.
And then we have Yisker. We announce the giving of the 10 Commandments. And then at my show, we have a big, huge dairy dinner and a party.
All right, very good. Anyone else have something to add? Why do we eat dairy?
The land of milk and honey.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? That's a good interpretation. I mean, we do it, right? Cheesecake, blintzes.
Right?
I make quiche. Nobody? Rabbi Elias, you got any midrash?
I'm a vegan, so
Okay. But you can still get the midrash.
what I've heard is that it's the land of milk and honey, and that also, since it's the dairy, I mean, it's the wheat harvest, people would make bread, and dairy was involved with that But I've heard a lot of different stories, but that's the one I grew up with.
One I heard that I grew up as an adult with is that since we didn't have the Torah yet and we didn't know what we could and could not eat, dairy was a safe bet. So we didn't know what animals we could or could not eat. So rather than on this very auspicious holy night, we just don't eat it any, you just eat what we can. And that's it.
Fruits
Go ahead.
and lots of fruits.
And lots of fruit. Well, that could be from
Lots of fruit and flowers, lots of flowers you put around the house, and then you sing Shehachayanu for the
Mhm.
first fruits.
I've seen people decorate the bima with fruits and flowers.
Yeah.
Why do we study all night long?
At the synagogue
Why?
to be together on the holy day, all night long. Fruits.
Oh, there's other holy days. Why don't we study all night long too? Because we didn't
Well,
want to miss it. 'Cause
I
we-
believe it's because it's the most important night to study all night long to prepare us to be good enough to receive the 10 Commandments. So that we are worthy of it, that we've gone through the Omer process and that we've become more self-enlightened than we have been in the year past. And we
Mhm.
come to celebrate, and we're ever to the very last minute, we're studying Torah to prove to Hashem that we're worthy of the 10 Commandments and of the covenant.
And also that they didn't want to sleep through it. They didn't want to miss it. So they stayed up all night to show that they
Wow.
were worthy of it. To show that they were much worthy of it. Kimberly, good evening. It's nice to have you here. Okay, so let's continue on. Why was this important that it occurred right after the Exodus?
Well, later rabbis have said that it was like a continuation between Pesach and giving of the 10 Commandments, of getting to Har Sinai, and that it was the first part was they left and they didn't have they were learning to leave the constrictions of Egypt.
Mhm.
And as they go through the desert, it takes them time to come together as a cohesive group. Because if you go through the stories, you have
It took 39 years.
well, yeah, and the way it worked out, yes, it took 39 years because you had the golden calf, and Hashem said, that's it. He was ready to destroy everybody.
Right.
And when they get to Har Sinai, at one point, that's when they're called Israel. Because before that, they were called the children of Israel. But Hashem said, okay, they seem to be cohesive now. I can now call them Israel. That's what I heard.
So this week, let's think about it when you're having your cheesecake, your blimtzes, your
A
vegan
yogurt pie. I made a yogurt pie.
a yogurt pie, a vegan meal. Let's think about the traditions, how they evolved since before the temple, when we had the temple, and after the destruction of the temple. How our people have evolved and to what it is today, and who knows what's going to be next. Interesting thought of how could it be celebrated next. Okay, let's go back to our share screen. Thank you all. Put yourselves back on mute, and let's take a moment to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. Ose shalom bimrumav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael Imru, Imru, Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and let us say, Amen. Okay, we're going to begin our healing prayers. So if you type in the names of all those who need our thoughts and prayers, we will remember them. And I want to begin my Misha Bearer list with Sid and Joyce, Katie, Luna, Boomer, Chris, Robin, Lisa's daughter, Ronnie, Seal's daughter, Rabbi Allison's daughter, Miriam Bat Shulamit, Carrie, daughter of Bonnie, Leslie, Mendelea Bat Chaya, Maxine, Marcia, Marlene Bat Sylvia, Alan, George, Stu, David, and Cantor Ovadia. Okay, let me go to the chat and see. We have Dana, Tom, Paul, Eileen, Etoile, Jacques, Dorothy, Marlene, Bill, Robert, Jean, David, Mark, Joe, Shar, Deb, Dave, Jasmine Morgan, Kayla Morgan, Richard Stevens, Bill, Ben, Ann, Richard Ben Sylvia, Marlene Batchaya, B. Bat Etta, Erica, Ellen, and all other cancer patients. Let me go to Restream. Diane Dairy Maple. Okay, anybody else in our group? Kathy. Okay, Andy, Granny Franny, Brady's dad, Al and his wife Tracy, Osim Shalomer, Ziona and her husband, Valerie, Erin, Maddie, Trey, Malcolm, Maya, Rose, Albert, and Max. Bill, Ben B, Ginny Batwana, Clinton, Ben Ginny, Perry, Ben Betty, Rivka Batvia, Sephora, and all others suffering from PTSD and the disease of addiction, all seem shalomers in need of refuah shlema, and all those in need of maintaining sobriety. All right, closing this up, and we will go back. Mishe beirach avotenu mechol habraha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mishe beirach imotenu mechol habraha leavotenu. May those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot adama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kihol hamanam, anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlochim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'eman v'yadonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. Rabbi Eliezer, Elias, I'm sorry. I'm springing this on you pretty quickly. You want to do the counting of the Omar? We're almost finished.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me pull it up on my screen really quickly so everyone can read along. Okay, I'm going to start the share. Okay, so first we say the prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. And the specific day is Hayom Shmona ve'arba'im Yom Shehem Shisha Shavuot ve'Shisha Yamim LaOmer, which means today is 48 days, which is 6 weeks and 6 days of the Omer, which happens to be only one more day left. So Mazel Tov, second to last time we get to count this year.
So when do we eat dairy? Is it Wednesday night or Thursday?
Thursday night.
Thursday night. So save your blintzes till Thursday night. All right. Let's continue on. And thank you, Rabbi Elias. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah b'yalma divrah hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'agalav zman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehesh mei rabbah mivorach li'olam ol mei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yiroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata tamiram v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yehesh lama rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mumav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our service. Thank you so very much for being here with us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you well. Please check us, our Sim Shalom and JSLI websites. We have all types of classes going to be starting after the summer. So join us, be with us, be part of the family. Well, you are part of our family. You're our Sim Shalom family now. And just, if you want to take further classes and study, please join us. Be well, be happy, be healthy. And Toby, I'll text you.
Toda rabba, Rabbi Karen.
Bye-bye. Dana, thank you.
Shavua Tov.
Rabbi?
Shavua Tov, everybody.
Shavua Tov, Chag Sameach. Rabbi Elias, thank you for your assistance.
Actually.
Hak
Night,
Hak
all.
Sameach.
Service.